Happy birthday to everybody named Lewis, as it is his birthday in game, and also happy birthday to anybody watching this on their birthday. Welcome back to Fantasy Farm in Stardew Valley. We are on day 7 currently. We're really, for all intents and purposes, this is the end of the first week. This is the final day. And in the last episode, you'd think since I edited that like a day and a half ago, I'd remember what we did. I know we did like a little bit of mining. We're kind of in an interesting point now in what we'll be doing. Instead of having a specific clear-cut schedule, things are going to get varied up a little bit. So if you're tired of being like, this is what you should always do, at least if you're following this as a sort of guide, good news, things are going to get switched up a little bit. Starting with, first and foremost, the Queen of Sauce. This is our first version of it, and we'll come back again on Wednesday if you forget to check the TV for this today. Greetings, it is I, the Queen of Sauce, here to teach you a new mouth-watering recipe from my secret cookbook. This week's dish? Stir fry. It's the perfect way to get some healthy greens on your plate. Sauté the greens in a little sesame oil, and make sure to add plenty of fresh ginger and garlic. Ew, garlic. Now breathe deeply. Oh, that's good. You learned how to cook stir fry. Fortunes say the spirits are in good humor, and the weather report is it is going to be clear and sunny all day tomorrow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started with our sort of morning routine. Hopefully you've come to getting used to this if this is your first time playing and you're giving the game a try as well. Yeah, sorry for any garlic fans out there. Just unfortunately, much like a lot of vegetables growing up, that I found out later, the reason I don't like garlic is because my parents liked it a lot and still do. So whenever garlic got put in anything that I was ever fed as a kid, it was literally the only thing I could taste. Like, where people put in so much garlic that it's actually like burning and like causing you pain. And that's a really good way to make somebody not like any sort of spice or whatever very easily. Unfortunately, I had a similar case with a lot of vegetables, up to and including ones that I did like, that my parents made me dislike, where they would get like a little, not like a very deep pan, but they get a pan, and a lot of vegetables they would put in oil and put it into the oven until it basically turned black. With even stuff like carrots, and I'm like, question, is it fine if I just eat a carrot raw? Like, I know that baking a lot of stuff releases antioxidants, and, like, to some degree you do want to do that, but I'm not a big fan of burnt food myself, and yeah, as a result, it put me off of a lot of vegetables that I did not find out till later in life when I made them myself. I was like, oh, these are actually quite good, and I just didn't like them because of that specific reason. So, the more you know. If you're an adult and you did not like your vegetables or your fruits, whatever, as a kid, and they were prepared a certain way, just try them prepared a way that you might actually like. Right, so today, as I did mention, it is Lewis's birthday, so we're going to want to swing by and give him a gift at some point. Hello Internet, this is post-commentary me. Just gonna go over a quick list of things here. This part might be a little bit longer for Lewis than anybody else, but this is just very quickly going over his likes, loves, and neutral items for his birthday. 2 things to make note of for this one and everybody else. Number 1, I'm going to be referring what you can easily pick up by the point that we are in the game. So while most of these items, at least somewhere in the list, can be easily found, they may not necessarily be easily found in year 1 depending on what it is. And 2, most if not all these items can be found through either the Traveling Merchant or getting lucky in the trash cans, but I'm not going to consider that when going over these. Universal Loves. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to have much luck getting any of these. Your easiest ones would almost assuredly be the green tea or the hot pepper, but the green tea will only be gotten by having a high friendship with Caroline, and we're only 7 days in. And the hot pepper, while you'll have plenty of those by the end of summer, as you can tell, we're not in summer, we're in spring. So, likelihood of getting these is pretty much nil. Universal Likes. Blueberry, this is more of the same, unfortunately. You'll be planting a bunch of these in the summer, so by year 2, you'll have plenty to give him. Just right now, not so much. As for the cactus fruit and coconuts, you're not getting to the desert for a fair bit of time. I would wager by that point you definitely have blueberries, so again, not much luck here. The neutrals list you're going to have a little bit more luck with. The daffodil, the dandelion, the leek, and also the morel are all spring forageables and all things on his neutral list. These are pretty easy to pick up, just give him one of the ones that you've got the most of. The purple mushroom can be found, but I wouldn't really recommend giving him that when you could give him something that's much easier to find. Technically, the same thing goes with the snow yam and the winter root, too. There are ways to find that without doing winter foraging. Don't give those up. I would recommend leek, dandelion, or daffodil, whatever you've got the most of. Alright, back to the video. But, of course, the traveling merchant is also back as well, as it is Sunday. Let's take a look here. That wine is looking awful tempting. Ooh. Yeah, I'm almost assuredly going to pick that grape up. There's a lot of good stuff here today. Alright, let's start from the top. Melon, this is a summer crop. I'm not going to go into super big detail here. This is more of do I want it or not. This is required for the community center, however, these are pretty easy to grow, so like I'm not going to waste $12.50 on a single melon. Cactus fruit, this is something you can use for the community center, but it's one of those you need to put in 5 things and you get like 8 or 9 options. You don't have to do this one. This is not the end of the world. Sunfish, this is available right now. We could go and fish this up in this area. I'm not paying 900 gold for that. Wine. This is required for a bundle. It's one that's not currently unlocked, and wine does admittedly take a little while to get. In order to make wine, you need some sort of fruit, which that part's not hard. The big thing is, as of right now, you don't get the ability to make a keg to get wine until level 9 farming. That's a while down the road, and that's tempting. Grape is, oddly enough, a summer forageable, but it's also a crop you can grow in the fall. It's a bit weird. The reason I would say maybe take this is on Vincent's love list, and his birthday is coming up on the 10th, which is why I'm tempted by that. Pumpkin pie, I don't really have any particular need for this. Orange sapling, even if I could get that, I probably wouldn't. Radish seeds, these are a summer crop. I'm pretty sure you can just buy these normally in the summer. I don't think this is, you need a different area unlocked to get these, and even if it was, 1 seed for 700 gold is a lot. Spiceberry, we'll skip over apple real quick. Spiceberry is a forageable in the summer. I don't really need that. Dark table is just for aesthetics. Rare seed I don't need. Apple is actually used in 2 different bundles in the community center. One you need a set of 10 for, and the other you need a single one for. So that one is also tempting. I think I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to get the wine, I'm going to get the grape, I'm going to get the apple. I don't think I really need anything else here, though, too terribly much. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Because giving Vincent that item that's on his love list would definitely be a good bonus to add it. Because admittedly, Vincent and Jazz, just because they move around a lot, I'm really bad about, like, upping my friendship with them. I've always been bad about it, because every time I think about where they are, I'm like, oh, maybe they're by their house, and just conveniently they're not by their house whenever I'm looking for them. I seem to have better luck with finding Jazz than Vincent on top of that, so getting Vincent that gift on his birthday would definitely be very helpful for getting his friendship increased. Alright, let's toss these in here for the time being, because like I said, that's not unlocked. I think you can actually see it. Yeah, it's on the Artisan bundle. I do want to take a bundle up to the community center, but I'm going to put everything away before I take anything out. And we'll figure out what all we need to take up there. Alright, so spring crops. I'm just kind of poking around here real quick. So the big one is, I don't think we didn't put anything from the fish tank in. That was it. Yeah, okay. I'm caught up now. Okay, so we're going to just take everything we can for the time being. Parsnip. We're going to do this one by one. There's a reason I kept one of those, so we'll put that there. I talked about this. I put this in an annotation of there being quality crop parsnips, and for anybody that was like, wait, why didn't you grow more parsnips? You're going to need those. Again, if you take a careful look, quality crops, there's 4 different options. You only need 3. Parsnips are in the spring, melons are in the summer, pumpkins are in the fall, corn you can grow in the summer and in the fall. So I personally recommend working on other stuff, and then when you get to summer, get the melon and the corn taken care of. Then when you get to fall, take care of the pumpkins. If you want to get quality crops done before summer ends, you can try to go for the first 3 and just say, don't worry about the pumpkin quality crops. You can do that, but that's not usually what I do personally. Animal bundle, nothing here. The artisan is just the apple for right now, I believe, so we're going to take that with us. Crafts room, exotic foraging. This is what the cactus fruit was used for, like I said. I usually end up getting the 2 that you see here, and usually some combination of the resins that you get from the trees and the 2 mushrooms. The coconut and cactus fruit you're probably going to find by the time you would have already been able to complete this bundle, but I didn't want to spend the money on that cactus fruit, so that was why I passed on that. Construction bundle, I need to save the wood because I want to repair the bridge today. Everything else, yep, can't do that there. Fish tank, I do need to grab that sunfish, and I probably will do that pretty quickly here in a second. Let's see, catfish, shad. We'll grab both of those. Catfish, shad. Just go backwards here, it'll be a little bit faster. Tiger trout's not available till the fall, so I'm not going to worry about that. Pufferfish, ghostfish, sandfish, and wood skip. The only one of these that we would be able to get semi-soon is the ghostfish, but I don't think we got that unless we found it in a trash can, and it does not look like we did. Ocean fish. As of right now, it is just the sardine. These other 3 you can get in the summer, so we'll take care of that when the time is right. But for right now, we're not going to worry about it. I don't want to keep backing out of that menu. Lake fish. We've got everything here except the sturgeon. That's a, I believe, spring and winter fish. So we can't get that right now. But the other 3, yeah, we can absolutely do that. Largemouth bass, bullhead, and I need to go and catch a carp because I stupidly sold them, and I remember watching that back in the editing and going, well, that was dumb. Night fishing, walleye, bream, eel. We can get a bream. In fact, we might actually have one. No, we don't have one. You can get those at night in a couple places. Usually the river is your best bet. As for the other 2, the eel is, I believe, the earliest you can get that. Or no, we do have an eel. I'm thinking of the walleye. The earliest you can get that, I don't remember, but I know that it is not spring. So we'll take the eel with us. And I believe that's all we can do. So this is what we've got right now. I need to go fish up a sunfish and a carp. As for other things I want to do, again, Lewis's birthday is today. I'm just going to bring him a daffodil. We're going to go nice and simple here. Works pretty well. The wine I need to take with me. Well, no, actually the wine I don't need to take with me because that's not unlocked yet, so we're not going to worry about that. The wood, I need to take almost all of this with me because I want to repair the bridge today. Because I thought I did that, and I actually did not, in fact, do that, so that was my own mistake there. As for everything else, I think it's mostly just going to be taking care of smaller stuff. This is the big thing I want to do today. So, let's go work on that sunfish. Are there any? No, there are no copper ores. How am I doing on clay? Oh, there it is. I was like, surely I have at least 1 piece of clay. Okay, so we're still a little ways away from that. Building a silo we should try to work on fairly soon. But honestly, the obstacle you will most likely run into, without even realizing it, is probably not going to be having enough clay. Which is an easy enough fix. If you just hoe around any spot, it doesn't even have to be on your farm out here. Anywhere will do just fine. I'm going to put this down here. Oh, there's another one. Any spot will do, and but you do need 10 for a silo, and the odds are you'll probably have some just from making your little plot of land for the crops you've currently grown, but you probably won't have 10. That will probably be the thing that you're missing before anything else, even the copper bars. Alright. Ooh, I didn't even see that when I walked down here. But we'll take it. So hopefully everybody is doing well today. This is November 10th when this is being recorded, of 2024. I've gotten all 3 of the first videos completely edited, and the first video is out, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was definitely exciting to work on these. It was nice to have something where I could with Mario Baseball, like, I do some editing, sure, but it's not much. This is a more, like, edit-heavy, but the actual video-making part is a little bit more casual of me doing this part of it. And the Mario Baseball is more high-intensity for playing it, low for editing it. So this is a nice little balance here. I'm actually gonna pull this back and talk to Leah. That was something I did not realize in editing. Oh, she's just gonna walk right through me because she's walking down through here. Ma'am, just go around me, you little weirdo. Yeah, this is something, if you didn't read the little annotations, I'll go ahead and say it now. Talking to any villager during the day will give you 40 friendship points. There's the sunfish. Ooh, that's a nice quality one, too. We'll give you the sunfish and the sunfish, and talking to a villager will give you 40 points in friendship. That is equal to giving them on a non-birthday or special day for them a, like, neutral gift, one that they're neutral on. Except instead of only being able to do it twice a week, you can do it every single day. So you should be doing that, like, yesterday. So, yeah, if you see somebody in passing, just go up and chat with them real quick. It'll help in the long run. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it actually, that's quite a bit, especially when if you're somebody that, like, hangs around town a lot, yeah, that's gonna make a big difference. Alright, 300 pieces of wood, and that bridge, so that's I don't know if I'd call that a bridge per se, but the point is, it's fixed. Coming over here, you can basically find a couple things that you wouldn't be able to normally. This coral is one of them, and sea urchins are the other. Other than that, it's there to get a specific item from a character that will only be there while it's raining, and will only be there once you've gotten pretty high friendship with at least one person, I believe. I don't think Lewis is going to be here. Yeah, he's not going to be here. Okay. He's probably over by... He's either in one of the shops, or he's going to be hanging out. Yeah, like over here. Happy birthday, man. Ah, you remembered the old mayor's birthday. That's very thoughtful of you. And it's a nice gift. I'll just go ahead and grab this. But yes, let's take a look here. And there you go. Got our first heart with Lewis. Again, like with every character, there's obviously more that you could give him or there's things you could give him that he would like more. Fittingly enough, now that I just picked it up, higher quality stuff will give you more points in friendship with them. So if you got a higher quality daffodil, then right on, go for it. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. Okay, nothing there. Sardine. Everything but the carp. Eel. That's all we've got there. It is worth noting, too, you probably saw when I was clicking through these of like, oh, spring crops, because you clicked on the little thing. Do I have to come to the community center to drop these off? Yes, you do. You do actually have to make the trips out here. It kind of varies on when you want to do this. Like, some people like to drop stuff off just all the time right when they get it so they don't forget, which I absolutely understand. I think that's all I needed to bring here. Yeah, looks like it. Oh, I can donate to the crab pot. I don't think I did that, actually. Yeah, I should have brought... I think I had the mussel and the oyster with me. But the other thing is, too, you don't get any rewards and you don't unlock any new bundles until you've completed at least one. So if you want to wait until you have a bundle just done, straight up completely done, you could also do that and just make a big trip out here. So it kind of depends on if you have a specific chest you set aside for the community center, if you remember what you do and don't need for the community center, or if you're just going to be like, I'm not going to remember this, I'm just going to drop it off now, then that's understandable too. Just going to move all this junk down here. That's what happens when you go around foraging, you just find stuff like this, and I know I got a level in it too, which is good. So, now that we're fishing up this carp, and we'll probably do a little bit more fishing today, here is the deal. We've got that egg festival coming up that you've heard me yap on about several times. So, you've sort of got one of two options here. And a lot of people kind of end up doing this based on whatever the luck of the day is. Ooh, very nice. That was nice and quick. You've basically got two options. You can either fish and work on building up your money to get more strawberry seeds, which is what you're going to need it for, by the time that the Egg Festival starts. Or you can do mining to work on building up your resources to get things like a silo. You know, that also helps you donate things to the museum, stuff like that. The third option, which usually isn't done quite as much, is that you can work on your foraging and build up for getting things like the tappers at level 4. I'm going to go ahead and go back, yeah. I'm going to go back and go ahead and dump all this stuff off. I'm going to give you this. Like I said, building up your friendship with Caroline, you can get a pretty decent moneymaker early on that I never used. But you absolutely can. Yeah, Emily's a little bit weird, but and no offense, Haley, even though I'm going to say this right to your face, I like her more than you. Sorry, it's true. Of those three things, though, between foraging, mining, and fishing, I do think, at least for the immediate time being, unfortunately, foraging is probably going to be your... I'll do that if I have no other options, and because fishing is going to be an option for you, you're probably not going to focus on that one too heavily as a result. I'll drop that in there too, why not? So that leaves you with two options. Do you fish or do you mine? If you've got a good luck day, mining might not be the worst idea in the world. I'm going to say no to it today for two reasons. One is I want to get fishing to level 5, and two is I'm kind of low on energy and it's decently late in the day. 15 was where I was at, and I'm okay with waiting on that for a little bit of time. I would say probably going into that festival, and bear in mind, like, we've got plenty of time here in terms of days. You got plenty of time to make this amount. You're probably going to want about roughly 5,000 gold. That's me personally saying at least that. Usually I try to come in with double that. I try to get 10. Because the strawberry seeds are going to cost you 100 a pop, but they are going to pay for themselves. They definitely will. They are a crop that will produce, but then they'll continue to produce without you having to plant more seeds, and they'll keep doing that until spring season is over completely. So they will definitely pay for themselves, but you want to be able to buy as many as you can to get more out of that investment as a result. So again, it kind of depends. Having a bad luck day, while it won't make the mines unusable or anything like that at all, will make it slightly more difficult. So many people would probably say if the luck is good or very good, go mining. If the luck is bad or very bad, go fishing. If the luck is neutral, it kind of depends on what you think you're going to need more of. And by and large, I do agree with that statement. I do think if you've got a good luck or very good luck day and you've got plenty of energy and plenty of time, yeah, going to the mines is absolutely a viable option. But if you feel like whatever amount of money you have is not enough for the Egg Festival, yeah, probably a good time to go fishing. I do recommend fishing level 5, and we'll see that once I hit level 5, which probably will happen today, and if it doesn't today, it'll be tomorrow, provided that the luck is not good or very good. And even if it's neutral, I might consider it, but if it's good or very good, I will probably go mining, just to vary it up, because I know we've done a fair bit of fishing. So I do want to switch it up and not show the same thing every day. But sometimes you just get a string of days just right in a row that are all really lucky, and then you get a string of days right in a row where you've got a bunch of bad luck. So it happens. So what this means is, again, like I said from the top, that the schedule's a little bit more loose than what I like to do now, and some of that will vary on what the spirits are saying. But again, just because it's a bad luck day doesn't mean that you should not mine. Just because it's a good luck day does not mean that you should not fish. We got the big thing taken care of, which was predominantly Lewis's birthday. You are going to want to try to hit people on their birthday because I think we've already popped up a notification for it. If not, it's definitely come up now on this episode. Is that people get their friendship, the amount you get in points of getting them a gift is boosted by 8x on their birthday. So you really don't want to miss those. You want to make sure to try to get those essentially at all costs. Which is why I'm glad I got those grapes for Vincent, because that would have been a little difficult to... I probably would have just given him a daffodil as well, so if you can't find a gift he loves... Again, most of the time, like I put in the little thing about the daffodil, most people do like it for a gift. There's some that don't, but most of them, at worst, it's going to be neutral. And neutral's still going to get you a fair bit of points when you combine it with their birthday. But if you can get them a gift they love, then, like, you can boost it quite a bit, so try to do that if you can. Ooh, we got some good stuff here. This diamond. I think I talked about this. Actually, I know I didn't talk about it in a previous episode, but I did show off a little thing for it on the bottom screen of talking about items that can be donated to the museum that you might want to keep the first one of, and the diamond is one of those. You don't want to keep it to sell it. You can give it as a liked gift. A lot of the women around town, I'm trying to think of one particular. Evelyn really likes it. Marnie really likes it. Maru really likes it. A lot of them do, but the big thing is there is an item you can pick up later on called the Crystallarium. It's a reward that you get from one of the community center bundles. And by doing this, you can put that diamond in, and every now and again it'll spit out another diamond for you. So you can have infinite diamonds. So you can put it in, and then the first one you get, if you want to sell that to the museum, if you haven't gotten one by then, by all means, go ahead and sell it to the museum, but you can keep duplicating that diamond. So I will probably keep the diamond for that purpose. The rare disc, I don't think is used for anything particularly special. I don't know that for sure. Off the top of my head, it'll pop up on screen now if I, like, just straight up got that wrong. But again, I'm not sure. So, we'll see. But that one will probably get donated the first chance I get. I did get some frozen geodes there, which are, of course, good. I do need to save one of those for the community center, but by the time that the bulletin board unlocks, which is the bundle set where that frozen geode would be, I'd probably be at the spot where I can get frozen geodes pretty easily. So if I decide to break them early on, and there's exhausted because I wasn't paying attention, then it will be okay. We did get a level up though, so I'm not going to be taking that exhaustion penalty. So we'll be okay. If you go to sleep while exhausted, you will wake up with half energy, but, again, like I showed in the little text blurb thing in a previous episode, if you heal that exhaustion by consuming food or whatever, which I'm going to go ahead and do now because I want to keep fishing here, then you won't take that penalty anymore. And you're probably going to do that anyway, because if you try to walk around while exhausted, you're basically going to go at slightly below walking pace, which is about this fast. You're going to go about half of this speed, because auto run is automatically turned on. So you're going to want to get rid of that just for a convenience sake, if nothing else. Because it's going to be a pain to try to walk around like that either way. But for now, we're just going to keep on fishing until it hits about 1 o'clock, I think. This is a bit of a weird one day. This is more of like a town day more than anything. Because, you know, you'll have like a fishing day, a mining day. This is more of like a town day. And in the town, I do include like checking the traveling merchant. So you combine that with like Lewis's birthday. You combine that with building the bridge. Because that's not really fishing. It's in the fishing area, but it's not fishing. So this is more of a town day. Putting stuff in the community center is also part of that. It's one of those like little weird days where it's not heavily focused on one particular thing that you have to do in one particular area. But I am kind of hoping for a good luck or very good luck day, because I would like to go mining a little bit more. I haven't really played much since I did the first 3 episodes. I recorded them all at the same time, which was Halloween. So it's been, like, over a week since I played, and I've definitely had the itch to keep going, like, for sure, for sure. I was very excited to be able to get back to it here. I think if I run out of energy to be able to make any more casts, even if it gets there before 1, I will probably tap out here and go back home. We also haven't taken the back roads, so there might be some forageables there. If we get a quick cast here, we might be okay. Or quick, Nah, we're not gonna get it. Okay. Well, I've got the Joja Cola, which will get me there a little bit faster. Which is part of the reason I held off for a little bit of extra time as we get about 15 seconds to run faster here. Grab that. If we can't put everything away in time, that's okay. We're going to be starting a brand new day in a second here. It's no big deal. And it looks like, yeah, we are probably not going to have enough time to do anything other than the chests that are on the way, because remember, time is frozen here. We'll drop these off. Ooh, no, not that. We'll drop that off, drop that off, that off. I'm going to end up selling the fish and everything like that, so we're going to toss this in here. I guess we could show what happens when you pass out, too, because I'm probably not making it to the bed specifically. Oh, no, I did. Okay, never mind. If you do, your character just falls asleep on the spot, but since I got the level up and would have passed out in my house, I wouldn't have taken any actual penalties, if you can believe it, because of the level 3 forging. Get a cookout kit and some moss soup. I never use either of these, but the cookout kit early on definitely has its uses. This is basically a portable kitchen before your kitchen is made, so it absolutely has its uses. It's probably best use, at least for me personally, is, even though it's technically not really cooked, is you can make sashimi over the campfire. Again, I know that's not how it works, but sashimi is on Sebastian's love list, and it's probably going to be the easiest thing you can get for now, other than an item called the Frozen Tear, which will be much later in the mines. Fortune teller, give me good news. That's not good news. That's the spirits being angry. In fact, they're very angry. Tomorrow it is going to be clear and sunny, so again, still no rain. Again, you can kind of see why I said, hey, maybe don't expect it to rain for a catfish for a good amount of time. Alright, so that kind of unfortunately takes mining out of the equation. I almost said fishing and then foraging and then farming, and those were all wrong. That kind of takes mining out of the equation, unfortunately. So the question is, where do you go from here? I've got an idea in mind, but first we're going to water all our crops. Eventually I am going to cut this out, and it probably won't be too much longer. Part of the reason I like to show it too is now that we've got like a more varied level of crops, not just the parsnips, is you can actually kind of see the cycle of how these grow and what they look like, so you can think, oh, that's a parsnip, or that's the potatoes. Might give you a good idea of what they'll start looking like, and if you play enough, you'll start getting a pretty good idea for, oh, hey, this is getting pretty close to harvest. I'm pretty sure those mixed seeds that are the parsnips that are up there in the top left, I think they're going to be ready tomorrow. I'm almost certain that they will be, because I believe we planted those on day 5, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 4 days. So I think they're going to be ready pretty soon here. Alright, that's the crops watered and taken care of. Oh, wait. Another thing to do. Hi, Callie. Fill up your water bowl. Filling up the water bowl does not actually increase your friendship with the animal, which is weird, as, I mean, I guess there's sources of water on the farm other than that. But yeah, it doesn't add, which is weird, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't. Alright, for the time being, though, we're going to eat a bunch of these, and it is high time that we start working on that next foraging level, but there is a bit of a caveat that I'm going to try something that probably to a veteran or like a proper Stardew player is a no-duh genius, you should have been doing that from the beginning move, but for me, this is going to be my first time doing it. We are going to be taking down a lot of the trees, partially because we need the wood, because we expended almost all of it getting that bridge rebuilt. Partially for the foraging level, which is kind of the big one. I would love to be able to get to level 4 today, if it's doable. And I will check for spring onions, same as I always do. But the other thing we're going to do that I usually don't do and let it kind of happen on its own is I am going to actually, of the shock of all shocks, replant the trees on the farm. I'm not going to just plant them haphazardly like how they are here, because this is just how they started in game. I'm going to put them in specific spots so that they're not in the way if I need to grow more things. And since this area that I'm standing in right now, about this area is where I usually put all my crops, it's safe to say that most of the trees here are probably just going to be taken care of. The only thing that'll probably remain is that stump that I can't get rid of. But I do want to be able to plant these to grow them faster and get the wood, like, a constant stream of that going, but that will also, in the long run, help with getting that foraging level up higher, too. Because chopping down trees is one of the higher experience gain ways to do your foraging level. The other one is actually by breaking the stumps, but if you can't do that, then chopping down the trees is going to be your next best thing. I could chop that down, even though I don't think I can really... If it falls to the right, it's just, like, SOL. There's not much I can do about that. Oh, good, it fell to the left, so at least I'm getting the wood out of it. So there's that. It is crazy, though, like, even with being level 3, which will take care of some of the energy problem, we've already, like, crashed through that energy. Because bear in mind, I ate till it was back up to full, even after watering all the crops, and it just drops like a rock. It feels like you get rid of it faster than anything else, up to and including mining, is chopping down these trees. I don't know what it is, man, but something about it. Just blow right through that energy. Again, this is why I said for a partial recommendation, and you absolutely can do it if you feel like you have plenty of seeds, is you can make the field snack, and you'll get 45 energy out of that, so it's basically about the same as roughly 3 spring onions. It's technically more. So if that is an issue for you, and you've got the extra amount to spare, absolutely go for it. Because probably, ultimately, the correct answer of, do I save the seeds for planting or do I use them for a field snack? The actual correct answer is probably a mix of the two, is ultimately what it is. And much like I said before, the order in which you cut down the trees can actually matter, because if you're cutting down primarily the pine trees, you're going to have a lot of pine cones. You're not going to have enough maple seeds or acorns to be able to make a lot of field snacks, because you're not going to have the full recipe. It has to be one of each. It can't be, oh, any of these, as long as you have 3. So while I am going to plant new seeds, all the ones that are on the farm, unless they are actively in the way of what I'm doing, meaning primarily like planting crops, unless they're in the way of something that I'm doing, creating, whatever, I'm going to leave them there and let them grow into full trees for sure. If they get in the way, then, you know, they get in the way and they got to get cut down. That's just part of the game. And you can always, of course, have more appear. But yeah, otherwise I would like these to grow and flourish as much as they can. This does, of course, mean this is not going to be a high-income day. We'll get some of it because I couldn't get the fish into the bin in time, so we'll see that from yesterday. But that is okay. Alright, we're going to check the spring onions, and then I'm going to check off to the left here, see if I can find anything else, too. If we come up empty on both of those accounts, I probably will make some field snacks. I know I've got more... Hi again, Haley. Odd that I keep running it. Well, it's not odd, that's part of your schedule, but usually she's not somebody I spend a lot of time with. Let's have a look here. Wow, 1 you shouldn't have. How nice. Yeah, because while I wouldn't want to have to use up all the seeds, if I have to take care of the trees on the farm and ideally get to level 4, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? And if we're in a really bad spot and I feel like I can't afford any more of those, I can dip into using the wild horseradish or the dandelions. The daffodils are really the only one, as you saw in the notes that I put. The daffodils are really the only ones I'm like, you should probably outright keep these for gifts for now. Heck, I'm gonna even eat that. And the rest of them, like, unless you're making the wild forageable seeds, you're probably going to be okay not using them. So I think I am going to go ahead and make as many as I can here for field snacks. We're going to work on this a little bit more. If by some unfortunate stroke I still, after all of that, do not manage to get to foraging level 4, should that happen, will probably poke around for forageables, because that will still give some. It's not tree chopping amount, but it's some. And we'll just do what we can to try and get to level 4 as best we can. There's still, obviously, plenty of trees in the forest that's south of the farm, so if I run out of trees in my farm, that's no big deal. I would be more worried about the energy than running out of trees. Because even if by some miracle you run out on the forest too, there's still areas like the backwoods that they'll be available as well. And we did just gain a level in foraging yesterday, so I do expect a little bit of work to get to 5 or to 4 here. 5 is nice, and if you can get to 5, great. Especially with an event that will be coming up decently soon, which is a harvest of a berry type, because one thing will allow you to get... I think that's all the trees that are here. One will allow you to get double from that harvest if you choose that for the upgrade, which would help quite a bit. Late game, or even mid game, I usually don't care about those harvests too much, but early game they can actually be quite handy because you can get pretty easily about 100 berries. And that's all in one stack. So if you're going mining, it's a phenomenal snack. It's not going to take up more than one slot. You've got a bunch of them to just keep eating over and over. So for that purpose, they're phenomenal. I know that was a waste of energy, but I wanted to take care of that. Yeah, I'm actually starting to think we might not get enough energy to plow through this and get to level 4. But again, if we don't, I can go grab more food. I'd probably head up to the backwoods and take care of the trees there. And I did double check. Cutting these individual pieces of wood on the ground sadly don't give any experience. I tried to make a specific note of that in the mining about the rocks, of mining the rocks in the mines, unless they're the gray ones, do not give any experience. If you mine the rocks outside of the mines, so like on your farm, for example, that does give you experience, unless it's the big gray rocks, like the big old boulders, which don't give you any experience. But they do give you a lot of stones, so you at least get that. But most of your mining experience is going to come from finding... There it is. Excellent. Most of your mining experience is going to come from finding the nodes of copper, iron, gold, or any of the gems. Those are the big ones that give you a lot. I want to make sure. Excellent. Level 4. All right, that's going to get us the tapper at the end of the day, which is the big thing. We're going to be seeing that next video, unfortunately. But the tapper is going to be useful for a lot of things. It is in this bundle right here to get these 3 things, the pine tar, oak resin, maple syrup. Which not only are for that bundle, they're also each used in a pretty important crafting item. The oak resin in particular is for making those kegs. And you might be thinking, I thought you said it was farming level 9 and it was a long way away. It is, but individually harvesting each of those from the tree takes quite a bit of time. So you're going to ultimately be glad you did that. Okay, so now we're good on wood. We've gotten our foraging level up. I hate to burst your bubble, but I think it might be time to do a little bit more fishing, because I do, again, still want to try to get fishing to level 5. Again, it's a good early game money maker. It really is. And on top of that, it's probably the skill that most people, I would argue, likely get to level 10 first. Let me know in the comments if that's not true. I guarantee you some people just don't care for the fishing mechanic and they focus on mining or foraging or something else. But most people I feel like that have played the game because they know fishing is really good early game, even if they don't like doing it, they're willing to give up the, they'll have to swallow the disdain that they have for it and just deal with it and get the extra money, which, sometimes you just gotta do it. Which in this case, again, the money's nice. I'll probably eat fish if I have to, and I'm just going to keep going until basically I have to run back to the house. And so, again, since we got a level, I can keep going until about 1 o'clock here. Here's the walking speed, by the way. This is, like, absolutely terrible levels of you don't want to bother. You just don't. So as a result, we're not going to. We're just going to eat some algae and take care of that. You might have noticed that I had 34 energy, even though each of the algae gave me 13, and mathematically that does not add up. It does not show it on this bar, but yes, I was in the negative. So I was not at 0, I was technically at -5. That's where the mathematical difference is coming from. So if you got to, we'll say, -1 and exhausted yourself, and kept trying to use the pickaxe, you would keep going lower into the negatives. And I believe at a certain point, if you go too far into the negatives, regardless of what time of day it is, you're going to pass out anyway. So probably want to do your best to avoid that. And I'm pretty sure... Well, you can eat broken glasses. Should you eat broken glasses? No. No, don't eat glass. That's a bad idea. I'll leave a tiny bit earlier this time, as I do not have the Joja Cola to speed boost me forward for a few seconds here. And as a result, I might not actually make it to bed. I feel like we're okay on making it to bed. I don't know about getting what I've caught here, much like the prior day, into the bin. But we might be okay to... No, I think we're okay to dump it off into the bin here. I'm going to go ahead and start leaving the trash in here. I know I didn't do that the other day with the glasses, but I am going to start leaving it in there for whenever we do get a recycling machine. But there we go. This is the big thing we want. The mushroom log's also very good, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, the tapper is the big one I wanted right now. Oh, it's not level 5, it's level 4. +1 wild berry harvesting. This is going to come up whenever the berries start becoming a thing, and one of the seasons for the wild berries is spring. So this will mean you'll get an additional one on top of this. So this is a very big reason to get to level 4. It's not till after the strawberry festival, so if you were worried about that, don't be. You've got time to do this. But again, foraging for new players is often the one thing that they tend to skip, and I say don't do that. You're making a mistake by doing that. The wild seed summer is important too. Not super important. Again, you've got more time to get this than basically everything else. And the mushroom logs, while helpful, are not going to be immediate use. But these tappers, yeah, definitely going to be making some of these. We're going to need copper bars for this too. And while we do have some, this is all the more reason to go into the mines when possible. Level 5 fishing. Here we are at our first profession split. Now, for me, I've talked about the difference between the crab pots and the fish. This is a no-brainer. But if you are not big on the fishing, this might be a good opportunity to get Trapper. As I've been talking, you've been seeing on screen the 2 professions that are available right here at level 5, and then where they split off. If you're to take Fisher, you're going to get 2 different options at level 10. So we'll say option 1 and 2. At Trapper, you'll get 2 different options separate from that, so 3 and 4. So if any of these in particular at level 10 are looking good, then consider that. For me personally, this is no-brainer though. Fisher Worth More is very good. I mean, this is helpful. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but we'll take 25%. That's an easy choice for me. It's one of the reasons you might want to get fishing to level 5, though, because if your fish are worth more, of course you're going to be making more money off of them. And I don't think that changes on this day. That's going to be something that I'm going to find out in post, if it affects the day that you pick level 5 or not. But the point stands, if you get to fishing level 5 and you're still not feeling like you got enough money in order to be able to get enough strawberries, now you're going to make even more money fishing. So just keep on swinging. But with that, we have unfortunately reached day 9, which means that we're at the end of this video. Which is good news for me because, hey, I'm just going to keep right on rolling here. We're almost at 10,000 earnings. Look at that. I know half of that's from the treasure chest, but still, that's crazy to think about. I'm excited for that. I'm going to leave you all in the dark, though, on what the spirits say, and honestly, even if they say that they're just kind of bad, I might just go mining anyway, because there's a lot of stuff we need in the mines. So much of it is coming back to that. The silo, we need to go mining for it. The tappers, we need to go mining for it. We need to go mining for a lot of reasons. So I'm hoping that we're gonna get at very least neutral spirits or better. But until next episode, you will not know. I will thankfully know pretty quickly. But until then, thank you all for watching. This has been pitmarthroy with Stardew Valley, and I'll see you guys for episode 5. Later.